Oh boy, am I excited to talk about today's video game title from Nippon Ichi Software and share my thoughts on this game. I hope you're ready, boys and girls. I am Bianca, and this is my thoughts and impression on the video game experience that is Poison Control. In Poison Control, you control a human, whose gender and name you can choose, who ended up transported into hell and must team up and share their body's flesh with Poisonet, purifying the souls and poison mires as they search for a path towards redemption, lost memories, and a way to escape the grueling poison-infested world of hell. With Poisonet's help and your bond as soulmates, you must clear the poison mires and defeat a plethora of foes as you help souls caught in their despair in life and in death with the power of your arm that has turned into a gun capable of wielding hell's poison. With each Bell's Hell you venture and fight your way through purifying, you earn various weapons and equipment and dive deeper into the history of your amnesiac companion, unlocking mysteries along the way as you collect the stickers needed for a one-way trip to heaven and the fulfillment of a wish. A title with a mixture of dungeon crawling, JRPG, and visual novel elements, Poison Control features an interesting cast of busty characters, each with their own unique personality and goals, fully voiced in Japanese, with the voice acting as phenomenal as always, as well as story beats that can go from comedic to heartwarming to heart-wrenching and poignant. Nippon Ichi Software's latest addition to their video game library is one that is as engaging as it is entertaining, fun, and thought-provoking. Each Bell's Hell that you encounter has a story of a soul in them that some would find relatable, others would consider a trove of moral lessons, and a few that would do well to have trigger warnings in them. Each Bell's Hell also has different goals in them and ways to cleanse them, from simply beating specific number and types of enemies, to clearing poison mires, to earning enough money and finding items, just to name a few. Similarly, each Bell's Hell also has their own aesthetic that makes that area unique. The graphics of the game, most notably the art style, is as grim as it is charming, perfectly encapsulating Poison Control's twisted tale. Stages, vividly presented, makes this title a visual experience to be had. The animations on the character portraits, although impossible to not be drawn to certain aspects of it, can be quirky, but it nevertheless captures each character's personality quite well. With music quite reminiscent to the upbeat and jazzy and funky nature of recent Persona titles, it makes me think that this observation pushes Poison Control's soundtrack as one of the best I've ever heard in a Nippon Ichi Software game. Gameplay-wise, Poison Control has two halves to it, a visual novel and a dungeon crawler action-adventure RPG, both going hand-in-hand in a perfectly balanced presentation. Each stage is prefaced and preceded by first-person overviewed visual novel cutscenes, sometimes giving you a selection of responses. Depending on what you respond with during these heart-to-heart events, we'll see Poisonet's stats increased. There are 5 aspects you can upgrade: synergy, empathy, insight, toxicity, and trust. Certain levels gained for these aspects gives you and Poisonette added abilities from your HP being healed during purges increased to increase movement speed and additional equipment slots, just to name a few. As for the dungeon crawling portion of the game in which the action can be found, you basically explore dungeons, what this game calls Bell's Hells, searching for a way to purify the area and the souls that linger within while battling against various clashes using your arm-turned gun and clearing up poison mires with Poisonette. Using Poisonette turns you into a skeleton and gives Poisonette a short amount of time to move around. And although Poisonette doesn't have attacks to call her own, she can still damage enemies if they end up caught in the poison mires as she purifies them. And since you and Poisonette share the same body/flesh, what damage she sustains, you will as well. Battle-wise, it's similar to Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls, with only the perspective being the major difference. The battles can range in difficulty, depending on how well you can maneuver and conserve your ammo and juggle between using Poisonette and purging poisons to heal yourself and your gun arm to defeat foes. To make battles easier, you get various equipment in the form of toxicants, your main weapons, each with varying specialties and obtainable only if you manage to find and get all 3 stickers within each Bell's Hell, Delirants, which are the side weapons you can obtain via cleaning up poison mires, defeating clashes, or opening chests, Antidotes, which serve as your armor, and Catalysts, which are your accessories. All of these can be upgraded using the coins you obtain as you make your way through the dungeons. With each upgrade, they grow more powerful and get additional effects added to them. You also have 3 revives that are replenished over time with each poison mire cleansed, and should you ever end up using all of your revives, you won't get a game over, but you will fail on your mission and get sent back to the world map. Leveling up is also a thing in this title, and experience is gained from beating enemies, cleansing poison mires, and even simply talking to the souls in the Bell's Hell. And the more bells you help, the more the map expands as the further along the circles of hell you go in order to collect 5 golden stickers. As fun and engaging as the battles can be, however, the game does have an issue with its controls. There are moments when dodge rolls would fail due to input lag or the input not being picked up by the game, or enemies' health not depleting even when you are hitting them square on their faces. There is also an issue gameplay-wise when using the Surge skill would put you in an even more precarious position with how slow and how long you end up being vulnerable in using it that you might as well not bother. Or enemies suddenly appearing out of nowhere that your best bet would be to keep one eye on the minimap that is provided for you. The game also requires you to do a bit of grinding if you want to upgrade your equipment, which is something you most certainly need to do. Now, depending on what type of gamer you are, you may consider that as a pro or a con. Overall, however, this action-adventure visual novel dungeon crawler JRPG is one of the most fun, interesting, visceral, and downright entertaining games I've played, enjoyed, and got lost in a while. This title doesn't stagnate as the story unfolds, but rather grows more and more interesting, with each area being so unique that you can't help but look forward to the next Bell's Hell you unlock. It is also, as I've mentioned, reminiscent in music, mood, and some story beats as recent titles in the Persona franchise. Think of it as being a Phantom Thief where you end up changing a person's, dead or alive's, heart by changing and cleaning up the literal landscape of their soul. Poison Control is now out for the PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and Steam with a $39.99 price tag, Again, price is dependent on your region of choice if you guys are interested. And that about does it for my thoughts and review on Nippon Ichi Software's latest title. I hope this video piqued the interest of those who want to know more about poison control and also those who are wondering about whether they would get the game or not. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, you guys know the drill. Dream on, fly on. Bye bye everyone. Keep safe, stay at home.
Someday we'll have a last conversation, drink our last cup of coffee. Someday we might